Good day everybody. Today I'm going to solder this flower. Well, I cheated a little bit. I already did the inside and 3 of the leaves, just to make sure I'm still used to it, because it was some time that I didn't do this anymore. So now I'm gonna continue doing the leaves. Well, the hardest part is, or you can put it this side, but in this case I rather have the leaves all attached to this side. So what I do is I put it on. I put it on the drawing. I hold my fingers and I bend it. I don't know if you can see it right. Every time I have to make a curve. I hold it down, bend, hold it down, and with my other fingers I bend it. So I got a really, well, not too bad, smooth curve. Then I take the other part, I put it aside. You have to cut it. Straighten it out, and it's not completely but reasonably flat. So as you can see, I have to cut a little more. Like this. It's about right. So what can I tell you else? Well, this picture, it's basically a picture for children to color, to complete the colors. I found it on the internet because, well, the internet is a big library. You just have to know how to find something. Then I printed it and now I'm overlaying. The bigger the lines on the drawing, the easier it is to, well, duplicate it. The hardest part is just to, well, align everything a little bit. The easiest way is just to, once you have one point soldered, like this one, if I have this one, okay, so now just heating the solder point, I can adjust a little bit like this, the leaf, in this case the leaf, the other part, and now it's fixed, so I can do the rest of it. I will try to show you like this. Well, for soldering you need a hot solder iron, and you have to heat up both sides of what you want to solder. So most cases just one side, you put some soldering material on it, then you take the other side, you heat it up and you push it against. Just beware, copper is a good conductor of heat, so you will probably burn your fingers once or twice, like I already did several times. Next time, well, you can use pliers to hold the copper, but, well, I only have 2 hands. Some people use very interesting things to hold everything down. Well, not quite. Hold everything down, and, well, finally I noticed that using my hands is sometimes the best option. Well, don't despair if your flower doesn't look really like the drawing. It's just you can't, well, you have you're working with a very sometimes tough material, as you can see. And once you have the basic shape, what I do is I try to make it somewhat with my, just bending it with my fingers until I'm pleased with it. So, bending it out, just bending it back in. And as you can see, it's pretty good. So here I have already some points where solder on it, so I just have to be careful not to loosen them up again. Like this. And like this. Well, partially done. Hopefully this is long enough to do the other one over here. Well, I've noticed that after a time, well, you can see that some of the parts start sticking to the paper. That's because in the solder there's a sort of grease too. Grease, it's not really grease, it's there's a product that floats out. Well, like that, look, and then suddenly it releases. You can see over here, well, it's pretty, well, almost good. Now cut it and bend it up. Well, don't mind me singing a little. There's some stuff I do. I'm not used to talking while I'm doing something like this. Like you can maybe hear. Normally I work all silently. And here we have to explain, well, this is he doesn't want. This thing really doesn't want what I want it to do. Okay. Well, let's say it's close enough. I think I will fast forward part of this, what I'm doing right now, until I have something more interesting to say to you. So I will continue working on my little flower, and I won't say too much. Great, everybody's thinking, great, he's gonna shut up. Well, my daughter would. But my daughter would say, oh, please shut up. All these things I don't need to know. Well, the advantage she got is things Daddy make. She always comes with ideas. She always comes with ideas for me. And usually I don't make stuff for other people, except for my daughter. And then you get, well, a question, Daddy, could you make a dog? Well, I don't know. What kind of dog? I have to ask. Why do you have to ask? Well, it's for a friend of mine. Well, this friend, she's very fond of animals, and she has a dog. And my daughter showed her a picture of some things I made. And this girl just asked, would you, Daddy, could make my dog? Well, I got scared when she came on with the idea. Really scared. But finally, after I saw what type of dog it was, well, I found a drawing that was pretty easy, pretty good to use this technique, I don't know. And well, let's say I just made the dog. I don't have it anymore because, well, it was for a friend. But that friend was very pleased, and they sent us a picture of my dog, her dog, well, the copper dog next to the real dog. And lucky me, the resemblance was pretty good. So that girl owns 2 dogs. Then a friend of mine asked me if I could do a horse like that. Well, I had to disappoint him, thus, because I couldn't find any drawing I liked about just that type of horse. Well, okay. Well, as you can see, the flower is pretty far away. Now we still have to do these sides and these sides. I like always to start with the leaf. To make it a pretty shape. Well, that's far enough. That's good enough. Well, sometimes you cut like this. You put your pliers like this. I can show you really. You put the copper on the paper, put your pliers on it, and you cut it. And as you can see, pretty close. This side the same. Well, I'll try to show you something else I've learned on the way. When you use another plier just to hold some places, you can bend pretty nice curves sometimes. So this is the leaf underneath. And as I told you before, it's not just an exact copy. You cannot make, or you have to be very patient and very skilled to make an exact copy of something. So I'm trying to heat them up both at the same time without moving them. Yeah, did it. And this time the same. Well, the reason I make this leaf first is because, well, it's just call it, well, experience is a big word, but I noticed that if you try to make everything, well, the flower, you start with a circle, then the leaves around, and then you would say you make first this and then that. Now, the advantage is I can adjust a little bit this, and I'll keep it whole length. And the way is because now it's pretty stable. When I solder it, I cut it afterwards, and I can attach the leaf directly to this, because I noticed when you did something like this, I have a flower made of a lot of components, and you start out with one thing, and then I assembled the next part of the flower, another flower, and like that I made first all the flowers, and then came the part when, I don't know, you have the part to attach everything to, and after making all the flowers you can adjust a little bit the next part. So I first made main components, separate components, and afterwards I will assemble them like this. Well, Okay. My screen just went black. Look like this. And okay. Keep on working. Okay, very good. Then, and now the part I don't like a lot. Well, if I did it more often I could. And that's the small part in the bottom. As you can see, well, I'm gonna dent this first. As you can see, the cutters, whoop, here they are. They have a more flat side and they have an angled side. So what I do is I keep the flat side mostly to the part I need when I do it like this. So there he goes. Well, another danger of working with copper, it could snap and jump. So if you can see, the part is almost directly in a good length. What you have is you get some sharp edges cutting it like this. And the trick is, if you want somebody else to manipulate it, you can use a little more solder to smoothen them out. Oh, looks not bad. When you see you're finished, well, keep in mind, well, okay. If you can see, on this side you have a lot of solder. On this side you almost got none. Well, now it's time to check if you need to put more points on it. But looks, well, not bad, I think. Very important, after you have done, cut the power to the soldering iron, and that's it. Now you have to let it cool down a little bit. And well, I think, well, I might get some string, hang it over here, and I can put it up somewhere on the wall or against the window. Well, I have this one and I hang it in front of my window. Now I saw in the neighbors, they have a French bulldog and they have almost the same thing, but it's bought, sort of figurine. And they hung it up also. So, well, it's easy, and just for decorating purposes it's not bad. Don't heat it up too much afterwards because it will melt. Well, it's gonna be well, not very explanatory video. I might even talk over it, not use the sound on this one, but we'll see. And in every case, hope you learned something, enjoyed something. Well, the flower's still smiling at me. And maybe I gave you some ideas. And just to be sure, soldering is not only for men. My daughter of 14 years old, she tried one, and well, she did also pretty good. With a bit of practice, everybody can do it. Just beware, this tip is very hot. Good night, good day, and hope to see you next time.